Welcome to another episode of Mondays with Miles, where I give a tip every Monday to make sure that you have a stronger and more kick-ass week. Today we're going to be talking about why it's okay to suck and why it's actually good to suck at something rather than never start it. So a lot of times in life when we're trying to start something new, we're quickly deterred or turned away because we're not good at it. We suck at that thing. When I first started playing guitar, I actually quit learning. I tried to teach myself and I quit 3 separate times because I was so bad and I was so frustrated with being bad that I gave up. But the 4th time I decided I'm going to power through this time period where I'm not good and eventually I will get better. So I sucked at something and now I'm at the point where I can actually play songs and it's actually enjoyable. I like playing guitar now. So with everything that we start in life, we are going to be bad at it in the beginning because we're new at it. Whether it's a hobby or going to the gym, when you first start out, you're not going to be good. And when you're not good at something, it's not fun. It's not as enjoyable as if when you're at least decent at it. So a lot of times, instead of just starting, instead of being bad and knowing that we're going to suck at something, we say, I'd rather just not even do it. I don't want to go to the gym because when I go to the gym, there's other people around who are much stronger than me, they're better than me at what they're doing, and I don't like being bad, so I'm just going to avoid it. I understand why you may feel that way. Nobody wants to look bad or feel bad or not feel talented, especially if you're around other people who make it look so easy. But you will never get good at that thing unless you start, unless you become comfortable with sucking at it in the beginning. Anyone who has had any talent or has been successful in life has not been great at it at the beginning. I don't care who you are, when you first start something, you're gonna be bad at it. It's difficult for us to do this now because we are adults, we're older, and we don't want that shame. It's different when you're a kid and you pick up a basketball for the first time, but even kids feel frustration at being bad at things. So it never stops. The key is to be comfortable with sucking at something in the beginning, because if you keep doing it, eventually you're going to get good at it. There's this story that Kobe Bryant told that when he was around, I think 11 years old, he played an entire basketball season and didn't score a single point. Not 1 point, not a free throw, not anything. He said he was so ashamed, he was so sad about it until his dad talked to him and told him that he was still proud of him. This moment made Kobe realize, okay, it's all right to suck. I can still suck and people are still going to love me, but I still want to get better. So he kept working until he got better. He put in the time and eventually he became good. So think about if Kobe Bryant just gave up after that season, a horrible season. He sucked. Let's be honest, he was terrible then, even though he was a kid. He still kept going. So in life, we are not going to be good at stuff when we begin. But sucking at something is always better than never starting. Because when you start something, eventually, when you keep at it, you will get better at it, or at least decent at it to the point where it starts to become fun for you. And that's where you start to see that growth pick up. But a lot of times we never get started because we're so afraid of looking bad or looking weak in front of other people. You know, starting a hobby, whether it's like an art project, you don't want to do it because I'm not good at art. Well, you would get good at art if you kept practicing it. So this week, what I want you to do is start focusing on what are the things that I'm avoiding because I'm not good at them. What are the things that I'm turning away from or not starting because I'm afraid of sucking at them? Whether it's going to the gym, starting a new hobby, whatever it is, start noticing what are those things that I'm avoiding or putting off because I'm not good at them. Then what I want you to do is think about how good would I be at this thing, whatever it is, if I kept at it for 5 years? What would I look like in 5 years if I kept doing this? I did the same thing with playing guitar. I would visualize what I would look like in 5 years if I just stuck with it. And what I saw myself playing in front of a bunch of people, or just playing at parties, being good at guitar. I visualized this and I felt what it was like to actually have that skill of practicing for 5 years. And then I would take that and use that as motivation. So what I want you to do today, and what I want you to do all this week, is just picture what your life would look like if you stuck with those things that you keep putting off because you're afraid of sucking. So start visualizing, start getting after it, and have a kick-ass week.